Hello and welcome to Rajya Sabha TV's coverage of the FIFA World Cup. A shock exit of Germany is the big news, of course, as far as the Football World Cup is concerned. Korea beating the German side, the defending champions, 2-0. The curse of the champions continues in this World Cup as well. This is the third consecutive World Cup where the defending champion has been knocked out of the first round of the tournament. We'll talk all about that later on in the program, but first we'll take a look at the matches to be played today. 4 of them in all, where Group H is tantalizingly poised with Senegal, Colombia and Japan all in with a chance to make it to the round of 16. As things stand, Senegal has 4 points from 2 matches. They will meet Colombia, who have 3 points from 2 games, and both would be hoping for the best. Well, Senegal need to cut out its defensive errors and find a way to get Sadio Mane firing if they want to tame Colombia and reach the round of 16. The Senegal coach admitted after his team's 2-2 draw with Japan that the opponents were the better team, calling Mane to step it up. Looking at the group tally, Senegal only needs a draw to go through to the next round. With Senegal needing only 1 point, Colombia will be under pressure because they need 3. If they draw, they must hope that Japan lose. Colombia started their campaign with a defeat to Japan but bounced back with an impressive 3-0 win over Poland. The team will once again be looking at the exciting trio of Cuadrado, Quintero and Rodriguez. Well, let's take a look at the possible lineup as far as Senegal is concerned. They are most likely to play a 4-1-2-3 kind of a formation, and the lineup is Diallo, Wagi, Sane, Koulibaly, Sabali, Kayute, Ndiaye, Ghana, Ismailia, Mane and Niang. And we'll also take a look at the Colombian possible starting lineup now, with Ospina in goal, Arias, Mina, Davinson Sanchez, Mojica, Carlos Sanchez, Barrios, Cuadrado, Quintero, Rodriguez and Falcao. That will make up the playing 11 as far as Colombia are concerned. Let's take a look now at the formations of both the teams, starting first with Senegal on our screens right now. A 4-1-2-3 kind of a formation with 4 defenders, 1 defensive midfielders, or for that matter 3 defensive midfielders and 3 forwards as far as Senegal are concerned. We'll take a look at Colombia now, where Colombia is most likely to play a 4-2-3-1 kind of a formation. 4 defenders, 2 defensive midfielders, 3 attacking midfielders and 1 out-and-out forward. Focus now on Colombia versus Senegal. Nilanjan, Datta, senior sports journalist, and Jyoti and Burrett, former Indian national player, with us in our studios. Welcome and thank you for joining me. Thank you. Jyoti, let me start with you today. Senegal versus Colombia is going to be an interesting match after a defeat in the first match as far as Colombia is concerned. An impressive performance against Poland. They are still in the tournament. It's going to be a crucial game for both sides. Yeah, Colombia needs to win. Senegal can get on with a draw and a win. So Colombia have to go for it. Their front 4 have been impressive and they're working well together. But of course, you can't really compare the Polish side right now to the Senegal side right now. So it's going to be harder definitely than they were against Poland. But Senegal have also shown chinks in defense against Japan. So I'm sure Colombia have seen that and they want to capitalize on that. You know, talking about chinks in defense and the defense itself, Nilanjan, do you believe that the Senegalese are going to go with the defensive mindset, or they're going to go out there and attack?
No. They won't be going with a defensive mindset at all.
Because a draw is all they need.
Yeah, but I don't think so. Defense is their strength. In such matches, if you have a draw in your mind, you end up on the losing side. And twice they had the lead against Japan. They could not contain even Japan. And if you compare Japan with the Colombian side, you have to agree that the Colombian side attacking prowess is much more better than what the Japanese side presently are. 50-50 match somewhere down the line. I have a bit bias towards Colombia because of the presence of a certain Argentine professor. They call him Jose Pekerman, Professor Pekerman, the coach. He has given us a lot of Pecker boys, as they are called, the likes of Riquelme, Pablo Sorin, Pablo Aymar, Walter Samuel, even Lionel Messi, Carlos Tevez, Esteban Cambias over the years. Plays free-flowing football, prefers to play much like a oasis in the desert in this mechanical world of modern football. Radamel Falcao, James Rodriguez would be the fulcrum around which.
Talking about the players, of course, the players to watch out for as far as Senegal is concerned. Sadio Mane on our screens right now, 26 years of age, 54 matches, 15 goals as far as this forward is concerned. Jyoti, the man to watch out for as far as Senegal is concerned, Sadio Mane has been in impressive form for his club as well, Liverpool.
Yes, I mean, he is their main man, but you can't really compare him in Liverpool and him here. In Liverpool, of course, he's got the support. Same with Salah, we saw the same thing with Salah. So Mane, to expect individual brilliance and him to win this game single-handedly is a bit too much. But of course, he's got a hard-fighting side with him. And so if he needs to stand out, he needs them to support him.
So, you know, talking about the other player, of course, can he do it himself? There's James Rodriguez, the other 26-year-old in the Colombian side.
Yeah, he has the experience of a World Cup along with him. He can create quite a combination with Radamel Falcao. Only hope he starts. He wasn't there in the first match. He should be starting. It's a 50-50 match. Anyone can win. Given a choice, I would have wanted personally both Colombia, Senegal and also Japan to go through, maybe at the cost of some other teams in other groups, but such is life.
Indeed, such is life. And let's move on to the other match in Group H. Of course, it will be between Japan and Poland. With nothing but pride at stake, the Poles will face off against Japan as they search for their first victory of the World Cup. Poland had entered the tournament as the 8th-ranked team in the world on the back of expectations that they will top a relatively weak group. But the expectations came down crashing when a young and vibrant Senegal defeated Poland 2-1. The story remained the same in their next match against Colombia as well. Their poor display saw them beaten 3-0. The team's talismanic striker Robert Lewandowski has registered 0 goals in 2 World Cup matches after scoring 16 goals in the World Cup qualifiers. Japan, on the other hand, have had a good run so far in this World Cup, sitting at the top of their group. Japan would be hoping for the best possible results in today's match, but all they need is a draw. Even a defeat could take them to the next round depending on the result of the other match. Let's begin with the lineup, of course, as far as Japan is concerned. In goal, we have Kawashima, Sakai, Yoshida, Shoji, Nagatomo, Hasibe, Shibasaki, Haraguchi, Kagawa, Inui and Osaka. We look at the possible starting lineup as far as Poland are concerned as well. Next on your screens right now is Poland. Szczesny in goal, Piszczek, Bednarek, Pazdan, Berezinski, Goralski, Krajczowiak, Rybus, Zielinski, Kaunaki and Lewandowski will make up the playing 11 as far as Poland is concerned. We'll take a look now at the formation as far as the Japanese are concerned. They're most likely to play a 4-2-3-1 kind of a formation. That's on your screen right now. 4 defenders, 2 defensive midfielders, 3 attacking midfielders and 1 forward. And the Poles, of course, are likely to play a 3-4-2-1 kind of a formation. And, of course, it will be interesting to see how this match, of course, pans out. Jyoti, Poland versus Japan, are you surprised with the way the Poles have played in this particular tournament? The 8th-ranked side in the, going into this tournament, expectations were high, but they have not delivered.
It's been a disappointing campaign for them, for sure. Lewandowski, someone who's a goal-scoring machine, hasn't even netted the ball once. So, obviously, it's been disappointing. But as we've seen with all the teams who have nothing to lose in this competition, they're coming out there and playing their best football. So, Japan have to be a bit careful today. Poland have nothing to lose. So, yeah.
Talking about Japan, the Japan have surprised us all this tournament, performed very well. You know, thus far they're sitting pretty at the top of the table right now, and they could finish on top as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yesterday night was a huge night for Asian football. Let it get better. In such matches, you will have 2, 3, 4 chances. If you are able to convert at least 2, you have your job done. And somewhere down the line, my personal feeling, a certain number for Keisuke Honda should be starting for Japan. Experienced, maybe on the surface seems is a bit slow, lost a bit of his pace. But such players can strike a combination with Okazaki and Shinji and Kagawa. And always are at the right place at the right moment. Experience teaches you that.
Indeed. Talking about Shinji Kagawa now, he's a player to watch out for as far as Japan is concerned. Wears the number 10 jersey, 29 years of age, 94 matches, an experienced candidate with 31 goals. Playmakers will be key as far as the tournament is concerned, Jyoti.
They're the ones setting up all the goals. They're the ones with the creativity. They're the ones who, you know, when you run into a wall, they're the ones who think about a way out of that and they can get the team to score. So, you know, with teams who are parking the bus, you need creative midfielders to create. So they're really vital for the team. Everyone has a striker. All these teams have top strikers out there. But getting the ball to them is what's the most important thing.
Talking about top striker now, the player to watch out for as far as Poland is concerned is Robert Lewandowski. He hasn't been that top in this particular tournament. Can we expect him to deliver today?
Taking a clue from what Jyoti said, the supply line in Bayern Munich and the Polish side. It's a huge difference. A number 10 has much space in the midfield, can roam around freely. But a number 9, typical number 9, has to have the supply from the flanks or from the behind down the middle. Unless it's there, he may as good as a striker as me, you or anyone else, unless the supply line is there. So that's the difference of a number 9 in a club side and a number 9 in a national side.
Indeed. All right, let's take a look at the other group now, where England will take on Belgium and Panama will square off with Tunisia in the last 2 matches of Group G on Thursday. While England and Belgium are already through to the next round, this last game will decide the final standings of Group G.
The England squad trained near their base in Rapino, preparing for their last game against Belgium. Both teams have won their first 2 games, ensuring their places in the pre-quarterfinals. England is looking in top form after they beat Panama 6-1, the team's biggest victory margin at any World Cup. There is speculation that both teams will be resting some of their regular starters and give match time to backup players.
We just want to keep winning and winning, and that'll put us in good stead. It doesn't matter who we could play next, because to get as far as you can, to get the final, you're going to have to play these top teams.
We're going to take game by game, and then we'll assess what's coming our way in the best possible manner. But now what it matters is making sure we look after our suspensions. I think it will be very risky and a real gamble to play any of the players that they got a yellow card against England, because you don't want to have any player missing on the knockout stage.
This will be the 4th meeting between the 2 sides in a major tournament. They have drawn twice, and their last 16 match in the 1990 World Cup saw England win 1-0 after extra time. In the other match, Panama and Tunisia, both ousted from the World Cup, will play for pride and would like to go home with a point in hand. This will be the first ever match between the 2 sides. Panama has a lot of work to do in their defence, as it has suffered 9 goals so far in the tournament. Meanwhile, Tunisia is winless in their last 13 World Cup games, a streak they will be keen to break. Raj Yadav's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Let's take a look at the group table right now as far as this group is concerned. Of course, England and Belgium level on points, but England on top because they've scored more goals than Belgium. At the moment, both teams will be playing for top honours in this particular group. The other 2 teams are out of the contention, which is Tunisia and Panama. Let's now take a look at the formation of these 2 teams, starting first with England in this particular match. Pickford will be in goal, followed by Jones as defender, Stones, Cahill, Alexander-Arnold, Henderson, Deer, Lingard, Rose, Rashford and Kane. Let's look at the other lineup now, the Belgian side, where both teams, Southgate as well as both coaches, I beg your pardon, and Martinez have said that they're going to rest most of their players. Courtois in goal, Vermaelen, Boyata, Kompany, Dembele, Fellaini, Chadley, Thorgan Hazard, Tielemans, Januzaj and Batshuayi will make up the playing 11 as far as this team is concerned. Moving on now to the formation of the two sides, starting first with England on our screens right now. A 3-5-2 kind of a formation as far as the English are concerned. They're going with 3 defenders, 5 in midfield and 2 forwards. Let's take a look at the other team now and see how Belgium will line up or form in this particular match. A 3-6-1 kind of a formation where they'll have 3 defenders, 6 in midfield and 1 out-and-out forward. Belgium versus England. You know, if Spain and Portugal was something to go by, this is the next big match of this particular stage, isn't it?
It was a match, I think everyone's been looking forward to this game. But given the situation, it may not live up to the hype because, you know, without De Bruyne and Hazard and Mertens on the field, I don't see the class that we've seen with Belgium. And if England decide to rest most of their main players, it's going to be a bit of a stalemate, you know, a bit like the game we saw with the French playing Denmark. Both teams really it doesn't really matter, they're resting their main players. So this may turn out to be a slightly disappointing game. But let's hope they still go for it.
Indeed, let's hope that they go for it, and because we as neutrals and spectators would want to see a good game of football at the end of the day. But there's also one more thing to play for. Whether you finish on top or second also decides on which half of the chart that you go onto, and that will also be important, Nilanjan.
Very much, but on paper, whomever they are supposed to meet, either from Colombia, Senegal, / Japan, these two sides should have it easy. I repeat, on paper. So that won't be playing much of a part in that. But for the resting players, for the sake of resting it, I understand if there are cart problems, I understand if there are injury niggles, there may be some, there are some. But just resting players can disrupt the momentum. And these calculations of whom we will be facing, history will tell you that you have done your calculations at your own cost, at your own peril.
It doesn't matter at the end of the day because the top seeds will line up against each other at the end. In the final, you may have to play whoever it is. You know, talking about, some of the players, of course, as far as England is concerned, the man for them thus far in the tournament has been their captain, Harry Kane. And he's the Golden Boot leader as well in the tournament at the moment. 24 years of age, 26 matches, 18 goals. Jyoti, Harry Kane?
He's looking sharp, he's looking good. I'm just waiting to see if England will be able to deliver the ball to him as well as they are currently under pressure from a good side. So I want to see if under pressure they can still get their midfield to get up and give him the supply that he needs, which we haven't seen so far. So today maybe we'll be able to see that.
Sure, all right. Okay, let's move on now as to the other match of the day. It will be played between Panama and Tunisia. Of course, both teams out of this particular tournament. Jyoti, Panama versus Tunisia. I would like to see Panama doing well because it's their first World Cup, and I'd like to support the underdog as well at the end of the day. What's likely to happen here?
It's going to be, I think it'll be close. I think both teams are really looking to prove something at this World Cup. They haven't had a great campaign. I mean, it's been losses after losses for them. But they want to leave on a high note, get back to their countries, give their fans something to cheer about, and of course rebuild and look at what they did wrong. You know,
Nilanjan, very quickly before we step into a break, what do these two teams take away from the World Cup?
The experience of playing in the World Cup. It's a learning experience, obviously, and in the footballing structure of their respective countries, it will transpire and boil down to the next generation. All
right then. On that note, the experience is what they will be taking back as far as Tunisia and Panama are concerned, and it's going to be a rich experience as well, something that they can pass on to the next generation of footballers. On that note, we'll slip into a short break now, but on the other side, we'll review the matches that took place last evening. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.